Baseball from the Coliseum here in Oakland, California. Dave Sims and Mike Flowers with you here on Root Sports, Game 2 of the 2011 season. Good pitching matchup tonight. Brett Anderson back. He had a couple of stints on the DL last year as Ichiro, first pitch swinging, drives it to left field. Josh Willingham under it, one down.
First pitch, 607.
See the numbers for Brett Anderson this spring. Numbers don't mean a lot for him overall. I think they're just happy that he's healthy. Young man had some problems with his elbow and his forearm last year, but starting the season healthy this year.
Third baseman, number 9.
Anderson's had success against the Mariners. 5 starts a year ago, 3-1, a 0.81 ERA. Here's Sean Figgins, 2 for 5, a run scored, an RBI, and a home run last night. Mentioning to Jack Wilson, boy, the Figgy got into that home run. It's first since April of last year. He says, no. He homered last Sunday against Texas. Don't be taking away any home runs from anybody.
That's true. In spring training down in Arizona, he hit that one left-handed. It'll be interesting to watch Anderson work his way through this game, Davey. We've seen him, good fastball, really hard slider that throw down and into the right-handers. But this spring, came up with a changeup and a curveball that he likes to throw. So the young pitcher, they're adding to what he already has. We'll see how much he uses it tonight.
23 years old, Brett Anderson, Midland, Texas, lives in Stillwater, Oklahoma. 2-2 to Figgins. Figgins with pretty good numbers against Anderson, 7 for 22. Top foul last night, of course, festive atmosphere with it being opening night. Big crowd, 36,067. Considerably fewer tonight. Jumped on that breaking ball and gets it by Kuzminov. Got it off his glove a little bit. Figgy taking a turn. Here's a throw by Willingham. It's offline. So Figgins into second base. 2-base hit for Figgins. And he is truly up to a terrific start here in 2011.
He hit his home run right-handed last night. Stings this ball, hits it right by Kuzminov. He gets a piece of it. But the key to this play is Figgins running hard out of the box. Most guys would end up with a single, but he gets a double out of it. Nice hustle by Figgins.
Eric Wedge encouraged by what he saw from Milton Bradley in Milton's last at bat last night when he hit it hard right at the second baseman. It was the best ball he'd hit all night. And he said, hey, showing a good sign there. Milton was pleased with it after the game as well. Bradley 0 for 4 last night. Struck out looking twice. Turned it loose. He's 1 for 5 against Anderson. Milton coming off an aggressive spring.
And it worked well for him.
Yeah, it did.
He had a nice spring.
It's always interesting to talk to these switch hitters. One side's a little ahead of the other, depending on obviously who they're seeing during the course of a couple 3-week span. Remember at the beginning of spring, early on, Milton was trying to catch up the left side. Jeff Datz coaching at third, Mike Brumley at first. One to Bradley.
Well, if you think about it, I think it's tougher for switch hitters to fine-tune both sides of the plate. If you're just a right-handed hitter, all your swings come from that side. These guys got to split them up as Milton hits a little dribbler out towards second.
Ellis throws him out. Figgins takes third, 2 outs. Going to bring up Jack Cust, 0 for 2, a run scored, 3 walks last night. He went to a 3-2 count in his last 4 plate appearances. First time up, he went 2-1 and grounded out to the second baseman.
You know what's amazing about that? Is that he played right across the field with the team that knows how patient he is, and he still walks 3 times.
Amazing. Strike one. Home plate umpire, Bruce Dreckman. Paul Emmels at first, Rob Drake at second, and Gary Darling at third. One and one to Big Jack Cust. Tough out here for Mark Ellis, shading his eyes at second baseman. Center fielder Coco Chris, right fielder De Jesus. Look out, Figgy. Good grief. Stay foul, young man. Stay foul and stay alive. Woo! Man.
Apparently Jack Coach thought he needed a shave. Put him right on his back.
Wow. Glad he was paying attention. Man.
It's as good as any knockdown pitch we've seen.
Over the last couple, 3 years.
Yeah.
Man. 1 and 2. Struck him out. Mariners get a runner to third and no farther. No scores. We go to the home first here in Oakland as Jason Vargas tries to end a 7-game personal losing streak. Coco Crisp to lead it off. 1 for 4 last night against Felix Hernandez. First pitch swinging. Bradley back a few steps, 1 out. So both leadoff men, first pitch swinging, fly out to left.
Look at the numbers for Vargas, 9 and 12 last year. 192 and 2/3 inning. That was a topic of discussion about him.
Derek Barton, first baseman, 0 for 4 last night. Right center field, long run. Saunders and Ichiro, one thought the other had it. It drops in, a 2-base hit. Well, let's see.
It almost looked to me whether you can see both of them with their glasses, and we'd shown Ellis, the second baseman, struggling with the sun. Ichiro running out there. He can see that Saunders is away from him, but I don't think he really picked it up.
Yeah, he didn't, because
he looked right at Saunders, and he could tell Saunders was 20 feet away from him, so I don't think he was worried about him running into him. I just don't think he picked the ball up.
His first couple of steps, it looked like he was okay, then I don't have it.
Right.
So Barton with a double. 1 out here in the first. There's David De Jesus. November acquisition from Kansas City. It's not a good feeling, too. Both guys have their glasses on, too.
Like you said, I think you saw it come off the bat, and he had that idea of where it was at. But then once it got out into the sun, I don't think he was able to pick it back up.
Some work to do for Mr. Vargas. De Jesus with 1 hit last night, a 4th inning single. He was erased on a force hit. Down low, 2-1.
Those are a couple of good pitches. That last pitch, he has to get that pitch if he wants to be effective. It's a good fastball, sinking fastball, definitely on the plate at the bottom of the strike zone.
One of the things Adam Moore was talking about before the games, he's got to locate that cutter, front door to lefties, back door to righties. Got to have it. Back with a high strike, 2-2.
Bruce Dreckman, the home plate umpire. Sometimes it takes that first inning for both of them to get an idea, too. So if he misses a pitch, but Vargas is consistently in that area, maybe he'll start to get it.
That was the key last night with Felix Hernandez. 2-2 to De Jesus. Felix couldn't get a couple pitches in the first inning, and Figgy was hollering over and saying, hey, those are strikes. That's what Cahill was getting to start the game. Felix just kept pounding it, and it goes back to what you talked about with your days playing with Jamie Moyer. Hey, this is where I'm going to be. It's going to be there consistently, and eventually started giving it to him.
Yeah, and the thing that Jamie talked about is he knew he couldn't live in the middle of the plate.
full count now to De Jesus.
But the key to it, Dave, is what you said, consistency. You have to be consistently in that area if you want to start getting that pitch. And they may miss a couple early on. Obviously, that one that we showed was a strike. I think he'll get that as this game moves on.
Figgins will hold the runner. Throw across. He gets to Jesus for the second out. 2-down runner at second.
Batting in the fourth position.
Well, here's a young man that his first look at Felix Hernandez and his first American League at bat. Josh Willingham. He went yard last night prior to Florence, Alabama. Did an interview with him for radio and said, what did you hit? He said a fastball, and then the rest of the night was, you know, he handled this. And he said it's one thing when you look at Felix on tape, but he said the thing that really surprised him, the explosiveness of the fastball. He had the fastball just, you know, spotting it. It was exploding. It was tremendous. And those are some of the things rang up by Felix Hernandez last night. Look at that, retired 23 of the last 26. And his opening day record's fabulous. Under sub-2 ERA.
Well, the other thing about it, too, is in the 9th inning, he was still throwing 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, he did a great job last night. He had that big inning where he gave up, what was it, high 20s in the pitch count. And then he had a couple of 8-6, 8-11. Got very much back into the ballgame. Vargas trying to get out of a spot here. Figgins makes it happen. Sure, there were a lot of people over the years that took the Bay Area Rapid Transit to see Joan Jett. I love rock and roll. Put another dime in a jukebox, baby. Justin Smoke, 1 for 4, riding an 11-game hitting streak. Third longest in baseball right now. It'll be Smoke, Ryan, and Wilson, 5, 6, and 7 here for the Mariners against Brett Anderson.
It's good to see Justin get his first hit last night and a solid double into the gap in left center field.
It's a strike, 3-1.
One of the things that we talked about, Dave, with him coming out of spring training, try to get him some early confidence. I think as he gets more confident as the season moves on, you're going to see him drive the ball more.
Boy, the high strike being called by Bruce Streckman, 3-2. Confidence, gotta have it. This kid's got big time ability. 3-2, and he's aboard. First walk of the ball game.
Batting in the sixth position, shortstop, number 26.
Brendan Ryan's going to stand in. Boy, he had a nifty slide last night to get in and get an important run for the Mariners as you look at Bob Guerin, the skipper for the Athletics. Ryan 0 for 4 with a run and an RBI last night. Popped up out of play, strike 1.
Yeah, and his bat ended up against the backstop.
For the big foul territory. Let's say anytime you see those bats flying, man, that is some scary stuff. Who did we see early in the spring? Somebody, I think it was Cust. He threw one out beyond the skin portion of the infield. Down over in Arizona.
Yeah, I think it was either last night or maybe it was the game I was watching today, but Buster Posey from the Giants threw one up into the stands. Ended up hitting a fan. So when you're at the games, pay attention.
You really do. 0-2 to Ryan with Smoke at first.
Looked like the hard slider from Anderson. He likes to throw it down and into the right-handers, try to get him to swing over the top of it. There you go, 94, topped out at 94 miles an hour so far.
Did not go. A's want Anderson Rely less on a changeup, more in the changeup and less on the slider. Threw the slider 31% last year.
Yeah, he worked on his changeup quite a bit during the spring. Also came up with a curveball. But it's one thing to work on in spring training. When you get between the lines and it's for real, you have a tendency to go back to the normal, which is a good fastball and a hard slider.
What's comfortable, what you know. As you see Jack Wilson, he's on deck. To right field, and De Jesus towards the line. Foul ball. You know, yesterday you were talking about the mounds here. That's not a lot of laps for the right fielder with the home plates down there in the bullpen. You could slide on those same over in left field as well.
Yeah, and that fence, it has the corner right there past the home plates. You can see where the security guard is, and it's right around the area that ball ended up.
Yeah, that fence can get on you in a hurry too. You only have about, what, 3 steps once you get across the line.
Yeah.
Do it again, 3-2.
He's getting some pitches to hit. You can see those pitches in the middle of the plate, fouling them off.
Three and two again. Down to Kuzminov. He bobbles again. They do get the force. Kuzminov had a tough night last night. He went through a San Diego Padres season committing just 3 errors. Last night he hit 2.
And this was similar. This is kind of what it looked like off the chest. Fortunate that he was able to recover, get smoke at second base.
This Friday, it's opening night at Safeco Field when the Mariners meet the Indians. All fans take home a 2011 magnetic schedule, courtesy of Safeco Insurance. Make sure you get there early for the pregame show. 6:30 it's when it begins, and it's going to include player awards, fireworks, and of course the very special tribute to Dave Niehaus. Tickets are still available for opening night, and purchase yours today at mariners.com. And don't forget to wear your white shoes. As a further tribute to Mr. Niehaus. 1 out, 1 on. Second inning here in Oakland. Anderson about to face Jack Wilson, who went 1 for 3 last night. Jack to be followed by Michael Saunders. Saunders and Moore will be making their season debuts.
And the one hit from Jack last night. One of the things we talked about, putting the game in motion. It was a nice hit and run. Big hole on the right side. Jack clipped a ground ball. Ended up in a first and third situation.
Ball and a strike here to Jack. The Mariners second baseman. Still out there early, working during BP, seeing the ball off the bat, getting used to everything about playing at second base. He said, do you have to go through the old process? I mean, like double up on the process. What do I do if the ball's hit to me?
He did a nice job. He hung in there on a couple of double plays, some tough ones where the runner was on top of him.
Okay, he said he got out unscathed. He had a funny line. He says, make the play and get out of the way. Got a good count here, 3-1.
Wouldn't be surprised if Eric Wedge lets Brandon Ryan take off. Oh.
Takes a strike, 3-2.
Like Brendan was a little late getting after the pitch was thrown. He kind of clapped his hands together, knew that he wanted to take off on that pitch.
Anderson's going to a 3-ball count, and all 3 hitters here in the third inning. That'll get out of play.
Brendan had a late start over at first, but Anderson has a good move, and you have to make sure that he goes to home. You don't want to get picked off in this situation. You're basically just trying to stay out of the double play. Not trying to steal the base.
Fly ball left field for Willingham. 2 down. Here in the second, back the first is Ryan. I'll bring up Michael Saunders. All the work he's been putting in and reworking his batting approach, he gets to start to put it in play right now. Chris Chandler said he's pleased where he is right now in terms of the work that he's been putting in, but he's very comfortable. And he's going to have to make his small adjustments, but it's all about being in the game now. Strike one.
For those of you that didn't get a chance to see Michael in spring training or watch one of our telecasts, you remember he had a little bit of a press forward. The barrel would be out in front of his face almost, and now they have him much quieter. As you take a look at the way he's just relaxed, just goes from there, kind of like what John Olerud used to do, taking some of that movement out of his swing.
Yeah.
A lot of movement, loopy swing, and looks a lot better for him. And towards the end of spring training, he really started to drive the ball, which was something we were looking for, Dave. Started to pick up some hits, and then he started stinging. It hit a long home run at Dodger Stadium.
That was impressive. Got one airborne. He's behind 0-2. Just got a piece of that.
Yeah, but that was the pitch that gave him a lot of problems last year. A good fastball in, especially on the inside corner.
Yeah, the book on
swing
him
over the top of him. You can see that was a good pitch.
Yeah. And the book got out on him, on Michael Saunders, down and in when you're looking to put him away. And I got Ryan hung up. This is not good. He's going to run out of gas, and he does. So Michael Saunders, he'll lead off in the third. Ernest come home to play Cleveland Indians and the Blue Jays. Here's Matsui. Hideki's 4 for 12 career against Jason Vargas. 3 of those hits are home runs.
And you can see Jason, he's aware of that. First couple of pitches off the plate away, trying to keep the ball away from Matsui.
0 for 3 last night against Felix Hernandez. 2-1.
Jason topping out at 89. Change up 76 miles an hour.
Jack Wilson gets to play. 1 out. Putting in a lot of time. Second base for Jack Wilson. What a transition. Here's Kurt Suzuki. Good to see him up and around after what could have been a 12-car pileup with Miguel Olivo last night. Turned out not to be as bad as it could have been on a play at the plate where Olivo scored a run.
A couple people asked me about the slide of Olivo, and I can tell you that he did everything he could to get out of the way and not really injure him. I mean, he could have cleaned his clock if he wanted to.
He was Suzuki was defenseless.
Yeah. You see the slide. He started to go outside. You can see him slide on his right side. Typically, you're going to go out, but the throw from the shortstop ended up back right in his way in the last minute. He's a big man, tried to cut back in. Ended up getting a piece of Suzuki, but if he wanted to stay on the course he was on, he could have hurt him badly and didn't do that. So fortunately, Suzuki's okay, and he's back in the game today. Just twisted his ankle.
Left the latter part of the game last night. Landon Powell came in, and Olivo, and Rick Griffin and Ryan Langerhans. Eric Wade said he's not going to try to make an Iron Man out of Olivo.
Well, especially since he missed so much time in
Absolutely.
spring training
With that groin injury.
But he worked beautifully with Felix last night. Ended up with a couple of base hits in the game.
I like that Felix said, hey, he puts down a finger, I throw it. Good to have him back in the Seattle uniform.
Easy to do that when you have 4+ pitches.
Amen. That's exactly right. And they're all working, boy. Felix has supreme confidence in all of his pitches. 3-2 now to Kurt Suzuki. 1 out, nobody on. Struck him out looking. And Suzuki, the most surprised man in the building. 2 outs.
Well, looks like a good pitch. He thought it was down. It was definitely on the plate. When you looked at our tracer, it was right there at the knees.
First strikeout for Jason Vargas. 2 down here in the second. Here's Mark Ellis. 14-game hitting streak. Carrying over from last season. Popped up. And that'll play. Vargas last year 116 strikeouts in his 192 2/3 innings against 54 walks. Right by Figgins for a base hit. 15-game hitting streak for Mark Ellis. Come into a season, you're well aware of something like that, right? That you've been on a little, you finished last season with a roll, you want to keep it going.
Yeah, I think you probably have a pretty good idea.
Here's Kuzminov.
I don't think you're too concerned about if it's 3 or 4 games, but when you start getting double digits, I think you're aware of it.
Amen. Strike 1. Crushing Russian. Chris Jimenez, who was with the Mariners in spring, is down in minor leagues now. Told an interesting story. They were teammates, Nevada Reno. Jimenez likes to talk a lot. Batters come up there, and he said, in the middle of a conversation, Kuzminov went upper tank on him, and then came back and says, "That's how you do it, son." Middle of a conversation. Whack. I mean, that's almost like out of the movie Major League. 1-1. High fly ball left field. Milton Bradley has it under control. And Vargas strands another Oakland Athletic runner. Good look at downtown Oakland. A few minutes away from the ballpark here, the Coliseum. It's like Jack London Square as well. That's where we spent some time a couple of years ago. Michael Saunders will lead off here in the third. Saunders, Moore, and Ichiro 8-9-1. Saunders was at the dish when Brendan Ryan got caught in a 1-3-6-3-4 rundown. That ended the second inning. Saunders was behind 0-2. Ryan was picked off. Good count here for Michael, 2-0.
That's something I'd like to see out of him this year when he gets his opportunity. If he gets a count in his favor and you get a good fastball to hit, turn it loose. May as well be aggressive and try to make something happen.
Big bender.
That was a good one, too.
Right above the hands.
Yeah. Good piece of lumber.
Made his night.
The ball or the cotton candy?
It's an entry. Make it 1 and 1A. Got it inside on him again. Got in that zone. That was a pesky problem for Saunders a year ago. Strikes him out looking, 1 out. Second strikeout rung up by Anderson. Time for our AT&T trivia question. Here we go. Since Major League Baseball expansion in 1993, how many American League pitchers have thrown a 9-inning complete game on opening day? Text A, B, or C, or D to 95323. And that includes Felix Hernandez. There's Adam Moore, his 2011 debut.
What do you think?
I'm going to go with B4.
I think it's 2. I think it was pretty unusual.
Here's a breaking ball again from Anderson. 0-2 to Adam Moore. He had 195, 4 home runs, 15 runs batted in 60 games last year. He can bust that fastball in on you.
That's what he likes to do. I'm sure these guys have watched the tape. He will definitely come in there. Typically, if he misses, he'll miss in off the plate. He's not worried about hitting somebody. Something like that.
2-2.
Biggest reason why he does that is he tries to speed your bat up, trying to catch up to that good fastball inside, and then he'll drop that slider on you right at your feet.
On cue, they went as they check down to Paul Emmel. 2 outs.
Take a look at the breaking ball from Anderson.
Ichiro, Suzuki.
Boy, he gets a nice 12-6, close to a 12-6 drop on that. 2 outs back to the top of the order. Here's Ichiro. Led off the game, first pitch swinging, foul, flied out to left field. Two stolen bases last evening for Ichiro. There's a strike. He and Figgins pulled off a double steal.
And again, his next hit will tie him with Edgar Martinez all-time hits for the Seattle Mariners.
One and two. This could be interesting.
He was late getting there, no chance.
And there it is. A base hit for Ichiro to tie Edgar Martinez for the franchise hit record, 2,247. An infield base hit.
He had over 50 of them last year. It's a good pitch by Anderson. It breaks Ichiro's bat, but you can see Anderson when he pitches, he falls off the mound towards the third base side. And if he's going to do that, he'll lose that foot race every time.
Very nice. 2,247. Congratulations to Ichiro. Two outs with Ichiro at first for Sean Figgins. Pretty august company when you tie Edgar, the franchise record in hits. I think we're in agreement that Edgar belongs in the Hall of Fame. Do you think he's going to get there?
Boy, I don't know.
Biggie behind, 0-2.
I guess I would say my final argument for him is the DH is a position in the American League, and the award is named after the man. I don't know what else you can do.
It's a strong presentation. Put the video together, put with Dave's call. What more do you want?
I would agree.
Certainly anybody that played with him and against him would vouch for Edgar Martinez. Nice stop by Suzuki.
I think, you know, one of the things too that I hear people talk about all the time, you're the dominant player at your position for a decade. Well, again,
check.
DH is a position, and he definitely was.
Mark that one down. Biggie gets into one, but Willingham to his left and makes the play. Game 2, 3-game set to open up this 2011 season. Glad you're with us here on Root Sports. Cliff Pennington, Coco Crisp, and Derek Barton 9-1-2 against Jason Vargas. Let's see, the A's have had a runner reach second, and the Mariners have had a runner to third. Both pitchers have escaped any real difficulties here. Pennington 0 for 2 last night. Just beyond the reach of Justin Smoke. Let's revisit our trivia question. Here's what the fans thought. Let's see, since '93, how many American League pitchers have thrown a 9-inning complete game on opening day? I said B, 4. Any folks agreed? Mike Blowers, they went with 2. Answer is, survey says 4.
Fans, Mr. Sims, ring the cowbell. Very nice. You're on the board.
Second tier of Safeco Field reporting in. Top of the order, Coco Crisp. He had little Coco with him at the field yesterday. He's got the hairstyle exactly the same. Cute little 4-year-old son. Good pitch by Vargas. Telling you, I would not want to be in a poker game with Vargas because you have no clue.
I would agree.
And Adam Moore said, that's what I love about him, because he's coming after you either way. He's not going to show you, but he's coming after you hard.
Smart pitching. Keep pushing that outside corner out there. Coco Crisp didn't like the last strike that was called on him.
From the
go a little bit further and see if you get him to chase it.
The Greg Maddox, Tom Glavine school. I remember being in an airport. What was it? Let me think. It was the Braves and God rest his soul, the late great Eric Gregg. If it was in the ballpark, he was calling in a strike that day. And I remember the NFL umpire referees were at the same boarding gate, and they were like, are you kidding? I'm working the outside. Jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty much those outside lines of both batters' boxes. Somewhere in there, go to hacking.
I know what it was. It was Levon Hernandez beat him that year. He was at least 2 balls outside, and he was getting that pitch.
At least 2.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was Florida against Atlanta, I guess it was. Man, that was amazing. Nice play by Ryan. Good quick reactions on a ball. Really stung by Coco Crisp. That's good reaction time.
Well, he's already shown some nice range. He has quick feet. That's just a step and a dive. It's hit so hard. Pennington, the runner at first, does a nice job.
Brendan Ryan, big out there, brings up Derek Barton. He had a sun-drenched double back in the first. Sun not a factor now for the fielders. High fly ball, deep right center field. Ichiro had it off the bat, and then after about 3-4 strides, didn't have it, and was hoping Saunders would get it, and Saunders was thinking the same thing, and it fell through.
And they're both thankful that that's not an issue anymore.
You know it. You don't want to be carrying that around.
No. 38 pitches for Jason Vargas.
2 strikes. You're just joining us, Ichiro, infield hit. His Mariner career hit number 2,247, tying Edgar Martinez for the franchise record in hits. 1-2. Smoked by Smoke into the corner. Pennington on his horse. He'll get the third. Barton to second with a double. 2 at-bats, 2 doubles for Derek Barton.
Jason Vargas tries to beat him inside. Adam Moore set up here, and then that pitch ends up in the middle of the plate. Didn't quite get it where Adam Moore wanted it. Barton made him pay for it with a laser pass Smoke over at first.
Right fielder, number 12,
A couple of runners in scoring position here. Just 1 out.
1 out early in the game. Eric Wedge going to keep his infield back. Doesn't want to give up 2 runs. So he'll give him 1 on a ground ball up the middle.
Vargas in a sticky situation. Strike 1. Actually starting to pick up a little bit here at the Coliseum. The fans into it. The 0-1. Next pitch.
Oh, 0-2. He can expand the strike zone a little bit more. Try to get him to chase a pitch off the plate.
Vargas way ahead. They give up a run, they get the out. Jack Wilson throws out De Jesus. Oakland's on the board, 1-0. RBI for De Jesus. Scoring on the play with Pennington.
left fielder, number
Moving to
16,
third is Barton.
Willingham.
2 out to run in. Runner at third for Willingham. First American League at bat. He homered last evening. They're hoping that Willingham's going to provide some power here for this athletic ball club. Ball and a beauty. His career high thus far in the major leagues, 26 home runs with the 06 Florida Marlins. Did 24 2 years ago with Washington, 16 last season. Career 265 hitter. Struck him out. So Vargas gives up a run, strands a runner. All right, Angie, thank you very much. Not a surprise that Beltre goes deep. He's going to love playing in Texas in that lineup.
Likes to hit the ball into right center, and as we know, it carries out towards the bullpen in Arlington.
Anderson drops a breaking ball in on Milton Bradley. 1-1. Milton grounded out the second in his first time up. Here in the top of the fourth, Bradley cussed and smoked. 3, 4, and 5. Got in on him, but out of the reach of Derek Barton. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fans here, and the Japanese contingent has been large here with Ichiro and Matsui in this series. The center field, Coco Crisp. Quest brings you the high-speed pitch, and Anderson topping at 94 and Vargas at 89. Fans are booing Jack Cuss like he said something bad about them.
Nothing unusual about that. Have some good years for a club, come back later with an effort team, and I'll let you know about it.
Fly ball left field for Willingham. With 2 outs. Place you got booed the most was where? And don't say your household.
Oh.
Justin Smoke.
Did you have a big night? I mean, you had some big nights.
I think maybe my first time back to Dodger Stadium.
What were the
Let me hear
circumstances?
about that. Well, I played half a season, blew out my knee, and ended up coming back with the Mariners again. And
Right.
apparently they didn't like my half a season of work, David.
Did you get the big build-up coming to L.A. to Tinseltown?
I think it pretty much happens to everybody. Ichiro gets booed every time they announce him here for whatever reason. I have no idea.
One of these years we'll go to Philly. I'll show you some real booing.
Well,
Oh man.
you know, when I realized what it was, and as a player, you know, you have to let those things go. And when I was playing for the Yankees and I heard him boo Don Mattingly one day, I thought, okay, well, if they
You're
can
good.
boo that guy,
You're good.
whatever.
There's a solid base hit there for Mr. Smoke. 2-out base runner for the Mariners.
Justin had a double last night. Looks like he gets a pitch away from him. It is. It's on the outside corner, maybe just off the plate. Nice piece of hitting a nice little line drive the other way.
Third Mariner hit. Last night the Mariners 6 runs on 7 hits. They left 10. Well, they got Smoke up here, as we mentioned. As everybody knows, the linchpin in the Cliff Lee deal. And the pressure on him to produce immediately was remarkable. He came back after a stint in the minors in September, did well.
Well, I think even looking at those numbers, 348 at bats this year. If you can get him somewhere around that 550 range, 13 home runs, that should be over 20 home runs for him. So, and that's with him trying to learn and figure this thing out. That gives you an idea how much talent he has. He has some nice power from both sides of the plate. It's just going to take him a little bit of time to be consistent. And he just flew through the minor leagues to get to the big leagues. Hardly any minor league at bats for him.
We saw him early last year with Texas, April, I think, the first trip down there. Ryan behind 0-2. Mariners a hit in the first, hit in the third, hit here in the fourth against Brett Anderson. Coming in is De Jesus. Plenty of speed there, no problem. And all 3 outfielders for the Athletics recorded outs here in the fourth. Mariners strand a runner. 1-0 Oakland here in the Coliseum. Game 2. 3-game set opening up this season. Here's Hideki Matsui to lead it off. He fouls one off. Matsui, Suzuki, and Ellis 5, 6, and 7 for the A's. They pick up the run in the third. RBI ground out by David De Jesus. Mariners no runs on 3 hits. How about Vargas last year? Pitched so well in the first part of the season, and then finished up with a 7-game losing streak. They had some stretches where he pitched beautifully, and like so many of the Mariner pitchers, the run support was not good. Fair ball. Easy play for Smoke, 1 out.
One of the things that's interesting to watch him this year as he progresses through the season. We talked a lot about it last year at the especially the last month and a half. Should they sit him down, not sit him down? But they stretched him out to 192 innings last year, which was far and away the most he had thrown as you look at his first half numbers compared to his second half. But as he moves forward, and I think he'll probably, knowing him, the way he goes about his business, he'll approach that number, maybe surpass it and get to 200 innings this year, see how that affects him going into the last 6 weeks of the season.
Rest assured, a great learning opportunity for both he and Doug Fister. Kurt Suzuki struck out looking at a 3-2 pitch. He lines this one to left. Bradley has it covered, 1 out, 2 outs. 2 outs here in the 4th. Quick 2 outs. We take a look at the Mariners calendar. It's brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Finish up in Oakland. Then we'll go where the stars are bright, deep in the heart of Texas for 3, and then come home Wednesday night, work out Thursday. Then the Cleveland Indians come to town for the Mariner home opener Friday night. I'm going to continue to look for white shoes. Nicely fielded by Vargas, who has a very clean, efficient, and easy 4th inning. Jack Wilson to lead it off. Bottom 3rd of the order. Wilson, Saunders, and Moore. 7, 8, 9. And Mark Ellis gobbles that up. Throws out the Mariners second baseman. 1 out. Anderson has now thrown 72 pitches, making 4 1/3. Got the pitch count up last night for Trevor Cahill. Saunders will stand in now. Caught looking at a 2-2 pitch. So pitch number 73 for Anderson. And we're just in the 4th.
Saunders struck out his first time on that fastball inside. According to the tracer, it was in off the plate. He looked at it, wasn't real happy about it. We'll see what happens here. Been way off the slider.
Quick 0-2 hole. Vargas in that last half inning threw 7 pitches, 53 for the game. Three hits for the Mariners, and all 3 base runners stranded. That was a theme last night. In 1 inning, they had a stretch. 2 were stranded, then the bases loaded in consecutive innings. Just got a piece of it.
I like the things that I read about Eric Wedge during that time, telling the guys to hang in there, that they're putting pressure on him, something's going to break through for him, and it did. They ended up getting a lot of help from the Athletics. They ended up scoring some runs.
Good hard, but right to Ellis. Hit the breaking ball, 2 outs. Best stash in baseball. He enjoyed last night's win.
Why wouldn't you?
Got his big horse out there, got it done. Complete game. Adam struck out on a 2-2 pitch his first time.
I'm sure he was excited about the win. And as he was heading back to the hotel, I bet he was thinking, it's going to be nice to see that guy every 5 days.
You know it.
It was an impressive performance.
Doug Fister tomorrow against Gio Gonzalez. Then down in Texas, Eric Bedard makes his season debut against Alexio Gando. Moore looks at a strike. Michael Pineda on Tuesday against Derek Holland. And Wednesday's a Felix night in Texas. Actually, it'll be an afternoon tilt. He's able to hold up.
Yes, he was.
He did. Felix against C.J. Wilson next Wednesday afternoon. Mariners trying to solve the mystery of Brett Anderson, who struck out 3 and walked 1, and he adds to a strikeout total right there. Pitches a 1-2-3 fifth. Both pitchers have matched each other in the last inning with 1-2-3 performances. And tonight a marked contrast in temperature as Vargas fields another comebacker, second in a row. This one off the bat of Kuzman, off a quick 1 out. Nice job by Vargas.
You'd like to see those single digits for your pitch count. He's in good shape right now.
Cliff Pennington will stand in, the shortstop, batting in the 9 hole. Got a base hit to right back in the 3rd inning. And he scored on the De Jesus ground out, the only run of the game. Eight, 9, and 1 here for the A's. Little lows is Bruce Dreckman. Good work here by Vargas. Boys, I'm throwing strikes here tonight.
He's not throwing many of them in the middle of the plate either.
He's gone. Vargas with his 3rd strikeout. And that is Pennington going down there as we check out this. Major League Soccer fans. Got you covered later on tonight here in Root Sports. Action kicks off with the Portland Timbers in Beantown take on New England. Then Casey Keller and the Seattle Sounders FC face the Earthquakes of San Jose. It's Saturday night MLS doubleheader following Mariners post game right here on Root Sports. Let me tell you, we saw and heard a lot of soccer fans last night after our ball game.
Yeah, we both went over to get a bowl of soup, and they're having the chance going, and they're pretty excited about something.
They were working it. Coco Crisp wants one bounce up there. Coco 0 for 2. Two and 1. He's doing a nice job. He has not gotten many pitches up.
No,
and he's living down in the zone. If you're going to miss down there.
Well, he knows what he can do and what he can get away with.
Anyway, Coco
look
was
at that pitch. That's a perfect pitch. He wasn't sure.
Yeah, Coco. He knew it was close. First walk issued by Vargas.
Vargas better throw over to first a couple of times to keep Coco Crisp close.
Yeah.
He will run the first second he gets a chance.
3 strikeouts, 1 walk for Vargas tonight. Here's Derek Barton. He's got a couple of doubles tonight. Coco Crisp 32 out of 35 in base stealing last year. Come out a little confab now.
Well, Barton's had a couple of base hits off of him, and maybe Vargas wants to change with the scouting report and game plan before they got out here on the game today. Switch things up on them because whatever they're trying hasn't worked so far.
First pitch Barton saw in the 1st inning. Deep drive to right center field that was lost in the sun by both Saunders and Ichiro. And then he got a pitch inside on a 1-2 count in the 3rd inning, and he drilled that one over Smoke's head down the line into the right field corner. Just assured they're going to stay away from him.
Like I said, try something different.
And that second one,
Melton now is having something going on with the security guard out in left field. You never know. Sometimes somebody might throw something on the field.
Right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, 1-0 count to Derek Barton, is having an outstanding evening. Two balls, no strikes. On deck, David DeJesus. Not a big lead by Crisp. 2-1. Wouldn't stun me if Mr. Crisp takes off here. Only run given up by Vargas in the third. Infield out for an RBI for DeJesus. Runner goes. Crushed to deep right field, hooking foul. Not surprised that Coco's on the run. 2-2.
He had it stolen too. He went off first move. I don't think Adam would have had any chance to throw him out.
A lot of Mariner fans on hand here. Ship just got in. Full count. DeJesus on deck. Coco Crisp will get it into high gear. 2 outs, 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. What a big one for Jason Vargas. He gets through the 5th inning.
Leading off the top of the 6th inning for Seattle, number 51, Ichiro.
Mariner fans flying their colors here in Oakland. Game 2 of a 3-game set to open the 2011 season. We look forward to seeing everybody in Seattle for the start of the home season on Friday night. Don't forget to wear your white shoes in tribute to Dave Niehaus. And here's Ichiro. He'll lead it off here in the 6th. Last time up, an infield hit. Gave him career hit number 2,247 as a Mariner, tying Edgar Martinez for the franchise record. He can own it right here. The base hit. Brett Anderson has struck out 4. Walked 1. Scattered 3 hits. Kuzmanov sure hands this time. Throws out Ichiro. 1 out. You can see why everybody's excited about this Athletics pitching rotation. Their starters. We saw Cahill last night. He struggled, but Anderson looking good tonight, and Cahill's very capable. He was an 18-game winner last year. You got Gio Gonzalez. He won 15 games, and Dallas Braden got a no-hit game to his credit. He won 11 games a year ago. Here's Figgins. Double to left, flied out to left. Two and 0. Biggie 259 on the season last year, but a 286 second half.
There's another difference. One of the things that he was talking to you about being more aggressive. Early last year, 2-0, he would have automatically taken that pitch. And I think being more aggressive will serve him well. That's how he was able to hit that 286 that you were talking about in the second half.
Heaven knows he used to wear out the Mariners when he was with the Angels. Man, oh man, it was crazy.
Well, he has a good idea of the strike zone. That's not the problem. He's not going to chase many pitches out of the zone. But if you get a pitch to hit, you may as well take a hack at it. I think a lot of it, we talked about it last night, is he was taking pitches because of Ichiro, trying to give him a chance to run.
Full count. Milton Bradley's on deck. Milton looking for his first hit of 2011. Strike three called. Disbelieving Mr. Figgins. A couple of words from Bruce Streckman. 2 outs. Strikeout number 5 for Anderson. Well, Felix Hernandez back home in Seattle. You got to be loving this. First in Major League Baseball since Ben Sheets. First since Cologne in 02. This is complete games we're talking about. Look at that. No walks. Same company as Rick Rhoden. Second from the right is Doug Fister. Rob Nodine on the right. Felix Hernandez. Bedard. Chris Chambliss. We'll see Doug Fister debut here in 2011 tomorrow.
Although Anderson has tied the Mariners up tonight, he's not going to get a complete game. That's his 95th pitch. I would imagine one more inning at the most for him.
5 strikeouts, 1 walk. 2-1 to Bradley. Hit hard, base hit. Milton's on the board for 2011. Feeling good about that last at bat last night when he lined out hard, and here's a clean base hit.
Anderson tried to come inside with a fastball.
Oh for 2 today. Strikeout, fly out the left. And a stolen base for Milton Bradley.
So if he takes off first move, and he does, Suzuki thought about throwing it down there, but it was such a good jump for Milton that he didn't even make an attempt to throw it down to second base.
Cussed ahead in the count, 2-0. Three and 0. There's Jack Cuss, his splits from a year ago. Just about all his damage against right-hander. Smoke on deck. Well struck, base hit. It's going to tie it up. Milton got a great jump. There's no chance Crisp is throwing him out. Jack Cuss delivers. Tie ball game at 1-1. Jack Cuss picks up his second Mariner RBI.
Saw some of this from Eric Wedge last night, but 3-0. We showed you the splits, only hitting 220 off the lefties last year, but 3-0, he lets him swing away, and he gets a fastball out over the plate and hits a line drive right over the shift. Driving a run for the Mariners. Big stolen base by Milton Bradley, and then Jack makes him pay for it with a solid base hit to center field.
Bradley he's pumped. I don't blame him. Make that smoke down the line, foul to Kuzminoff. Let's see Craig Breslow. He was the loser last night. He's up and throwing. So Jack Cuss, another RBI against his former teammates. He's tied the game here in the 6th. Big tip of the cap to Milton Bradley. His first base hit, he got his first stolen base, and he scored easily. Milton stalking like he's like the lion at the zoo. Mommy, let's go see the wild cats. He's ready to roar, huh? Oh, 2 to Smoke. Good 2-out lightning here in the 6th. Ichiro grounded out. Figgins was caught looking. Base hit, stolen base, and a base hit. He's able to check. He did. Says Paul Emmel down at first. 1-2.
Or why pitchers sometimes will throw over to first when you know the guy there has no chance of going anywhere.
No interest either.
Right, exactly. I'm not sure why they do that.
Suzuki keeps it in front. Cuss did the prudent thing. He get back to the base.
He might be one of the best in this league at blocking balls. This is not an easy play. It's over in the other batter's box, and I'm sure he lost sight of it as it was going through the legs of Justin Smoke, but he still keeps it in front of him. We see him do that all the time.
Every game. For the record, Jack Cust has 6 career major league stolen bases. There's the ever burgeoning pitch count for Anderson. It's 1-1 game. 3-2 to Smoke. It's the biggest key for Smoke as far as you're concerned. Learning how to hit that curveball and getting and seeing that curveball and what used to be, I guess when it was in the minor leagues, fastball counts.
I think the key is exactly what Chris Chambliss was talking about, is him just continuing to try to use the whole field, because if you can do that, you'll stay on those off-speed pitches a lot more.
Pops out to Barton to end the inning, but a good inning nonetheless. Bradley with a base hit, a stolen base. He scores on the Cust RBI. Got a brand new ball game here at Oakland. It's 1-1, Mariners and the A's. That was North Beach, and not far from there, one of the great Chinese restaurants, the House of Nanking. Pop up. Ichiro lost it, regains, and he's there. Wow. Off the bat of David DeJesus.
It's that time of the evening. The good news is Saunders is paying attention and came running over to try to help him out.
The international signal for distress.
So he loses one in the sun, then loses one in the sky. Rough night. He was able to recover on that.
Your internal clock and your internal voice is going whoop, 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 whoop. Help me, help me. Josh Willingham 0 for 2, ground out to third and a strikeout. Mariners have really worked Brett Anderson. 8 6+ pitch at bats. Well, the A's have just had 3 of those against Vargas.
On the flip side of it, talking about Vargas, 16 first pitch strikes out of 22 batters.
Done a nice job here. Two balls, 2 strikes. Got Hideki Matsui on deck. No hits the last 2 innings for Oakland. 2-2. Moore gives chase, but he'll run out of room.
And Jason's still in good shape with his pitch count. Just 75 pitches for him so far. Doesn't look like he's worked up a sweat yet.
Placid looking demeanor on the outside. Fire burning inside as he misses away for full count. Willingham getting to know the American League. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Strikeout number 5 for Vargas against 1 walk. 2 outs here in the 6th.
Designated hitter, number 55, Hideki.
Look at the location of this last pitch, a backdoor breaking ball. Not much Willingham was going to do with that pitch if he hit it. Probably just trying to get it out of there and get another opportunity.
Give you an idea how Matsui went. Those flags, but I've been waving flags like that. I can remember from watching a World Series here in '72, 3, and 4. These flags are always big here. Give you an idea how things are going here for Vargas. 5 strikeouts. Most Ks he's had in his last 13 starts was 4. Now he's got 5 here. A tough hombre in Matsui, who's 0 for 2. 3 career long balls against Jason. The center field for Saunders. Model of efficiency again, Mr. Vargas. Brendan Ryan, he'll lead it off here in the 7th against the new pitcher for the Athletics, Craig Breslow, who we saw last night. And he was the losing pitcher in a 1/3 of an inning work.
Mariners able to score some runs off the bullpen last night, so they can run Anderson out or get his pitch count up, run him after 6, and see if they can do the same thing tonight.
Anderson had 2 24 pitch innings, including the 6th, and he is now done.
108 pitches for him through 6, just 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
Ryan tonight reached on a fielder's choice, got into a rundown. Ended the 2nd inning and he flied out to right. Laced down the line. It does stay fair into the corner. Ryan will get an easy double and a fine start to the Mariners' 7th inning. Well stroked by Brendan Ryan. First hit as a Mariner. He went 0 for 4 last night.
Gets a pitch, belt high, middle of the plate, and rifles it down into the corner. It's an easy double for him. It'll be interesting to see how Eric Wedge wants to play this. Jack Wilson can handle the bat. Does he give him a shot to hit it the other way, or does he bunt him over?
Jack had a push bunt for sacrifice, push sacrifice bunt last night. Pushed up the first baseline. Fouls this one back.
And Barton was right on top of him this time. He's going to bunt it. I'd like to see him bunt it down the 3rd baseline, make the 3rd baseman feel it so that Ryan can walk into 3rd. It's either both up, both corners.
Jack showing bunt. He's one of the things we noticed when he came here last year. He can do the butcher board. Show bunt, draw it back, and hit away. Foul. 0-2.
Well, he's going to have to do it the hard way now. Hit the ball over to the right side. Unusual for Jack. One of the things we've seen is he's a nice bunter. He can get the ball down. He knows how to play this game, so it's unusual to see him bunt through 2 pitches.
Kuzminov back at 3rd. See him try to go right side. Just got a piece of it.
We'll try a little inside out swing. Drag the barrel through the hitting zone. Lead with the knob of the bat.
Gil Olivo down there, bullpen guys.
Well, you have Saunders and then Moore coming up after Wilson, so maybe he'll get some pinch hitting duty.
No, of course, a right-hand hitter. 1-2 to Jack Wilson with Ryan at second, nobody out. He does go right side, foul territory, no play. Who's the best you played with in this situation? Got to get the guy. I mean, you got to get the ball over to the right side.
Best for me was Brett Butler. I don't think I've ever seen him miss a bunt ever. Of course, he would do it every day too. He'd go down into the cages underneath and bunt.
Do an hour?
Yeah, I mean, he would just sit there and bunt all day. He ended up getting a lot of hits that way. There you go.
Base hit. Ryan going to get the stop sign from Jeff Datz as De Jesus got on that ball quickly. Developing situation here in the 7th for the Mariners. Runners at the corners.
Well, that'll help. Can't get the bunt down. Go ahead and hit a ball hard to the right side. Ooh, pitch up and away. Really missed his spot badly, and Jack takes advantage of it, hitting it through the hole. De Jesus playing shallow in right field. Didn't give Ryan a chance to score, and you don't want to take a chance with nobody out. So Jeff Datz, the third base coach, will hold him up.
Just the kind of start you want for the Mariners here as Ron Romanek, the pitching coach, comes out.
Well, you might be familiar with that name. Went to Newport High School in Bellevue. Ron Romanek, the pitching coach. He's actually a minor league pitching coach for the Mariners for a while, and here he is in the big leagues this year with the A's.
Good to see him. Saw Grant Balfour, late of the Tampa Bay Rays, warming up quickly. Big Australian. Golden opportunity for Michael Saunders. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout, looking at a ground out to second.
Brendan Ryan better be on his toes because Saunders is not unlike him to drop a bunt.
Michael, a .211 hitter last year with 10 home runs and 33 runs batted in 100 games.
Casual throws over to first. I think they're trying to see if Saunders, the hitter, would tip anything to show bunt. He didn't.
Working him inside again. Saunders 1 for 3 with a home run against Breslau. Michael's ahead 2-0. A's took a 1-0 lead in the 3rd on a De Jesus RBI groundout. Mariners tied it in the 6th. Jack Cust swinging 3-0. Base hit the center scored Milton Bradley. Now chance for the lead. Center field, Crisp coming in. Ryan tags. Crisp catch. The throw is not in time. And the Mariners have a 2-1 lead on the sacrifice fly by Michael Saunders, and taking second on the play is Jack Wilson. Well, Saunders got the job done in a 2-0 count.
All
2-0, being aggressive, hits a fly ball. Coco Crisp coming in. Brendan Ryan with some good speed. Beats the throw of Crisp. Nice job by Jack Wilson to tag up at first. So now he's down at second base. We get a chance to watch Brendan Ryan run similar slide to last night. Reach back with your hand.
So that'll do it for Breslau. Bob Guerin coming to get him. Mariners have the lead. They're going to bring on Grant Balfour, a hard throwing right-hander. Michael Saunders has given the Mariners a 2-1 lead. Good look at downtown Oakland. 2-1 Mariners on the Michael Saunders sacrifice fly here in the 7th. Hey, you can follow the Mariners with MLB.com at Bat 11. It's a great app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. You get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826, 31826, or visit Mariners.com for details. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, the Root Sports crew here in Oakland, opening up the 2011 season. And a new pitcher for the Oakland Athletics, Brent Balfour, 33-year-old right-hander from Sydney, Australia, now living in Clearwater, Florida. Came over from the Rays, been there since 08, make that 07. Came up with the Minnesota organization and spent a cup of coffee with Milwaukee.
Nice numbers for him. 2.28 ERA, 55 and a third, 56 strikeouts.
Good friend of Ryan Roland Smith, the former Mariners. Felix Hernandez enjoying a real good laugh here. He was a beneficiary of some late runs last night. Jack Wilson at second. Strike one to Adam Moore. Balfour's got a good fastball. Adam Moore likes to hit the fastball. Missed on the breaking ball. 0-2. Adam struck out on 2-2 pitches in his first 2 times up. Leadoff double by Ryan down the left field line. Wilson singled him to third. Sacrifice fly Saunders. Mariners lead. Meanwhile, Jason Vargas has been super efficient. Gave up a run on 4 hits in the first 3 innings. 0 cents.
Balfour has been a closer and a setup man. Look at him. All 3 of those pitches away. Typically, guys that pitch late in the games will try to pitch away. He's going to go back away again.
Got a piece of it. Just flailing at it, but it moves Jack Wilson to third base with 2 outs. So 2 outs, runner at third.
Number 51.
And a chance for Ichiro to pick up a run, and with a base hit, he'll become the Mariners franchise record holder for career hits, sitting tied with Edgar Martinez at 2247.
One of the things we've seen from Bob Guerin over the last couple of years, in these situations, he will walk Ichiro. He didn't do it last night. Ichiro made him pay with a base hit and an RBI.
He may think about doing it here. Ichiro's 4 for 4 with a homer against Balfour.
Those 2 breaking balls down out of the strike zone. Ichiro didn't chase it.
Add-on run out there for Ichiro. Boy, pulled the string beautifully.
Ichiro thinking 2-0. We may get a fastball, but he doesn't. Hard breaking ball. Swings over the top of it.
So 3-1. Sean Figgins is on deck. As you mentioned, Ichiro 4 for 4 with a home run against Balfour. Mariners all-time franchise hit list, Ken Griffey Jr. His daughter was on TV today. They won a basketball tournament. So a great point guard, 9th grade, playing with all the older kids. Buhner and Alvin Davis. Goes the other way, foul ball. Ichiro with an infield hit in the 3rd inning. That's the one that tied Edgar. reared back and threw that one at 93. Throwing a couple breaking balls in there.
I think he'll go back to the breaking.
If Ichiro's on it, Jack Wilson at third. 3-2 pitch from Balfour. Breaking ball indeed. Coco Crisp will put it in his pocket. Mariners do take the lead though. Michael Saunders capping the inning with a sacrifice fly after Ryan doubled and Wilson singled. It's 2-1 Mariners. Jason Vargas looking to continue the role he's been on here. I mentioned he gave up a run on 4 hits through the first 3 innings. Since then, no runs, no hits, 1 base runner. It was a walk to Coco Crisp with 2 outs in the 5th. He faces Kurt Suzuki, Mark Ellis, and Kevin Kuzminoff, 6, 7, and 8. Saunders dunks one over the fence. Yellow balloon. Suzuki struck out looking and lined out to left. Smoke giving chase.
And Vargas just 82 pitches. Been very efficient.
This is what he's done. Boy, you like that. Felix rang up a bunch of the single-digit pitch innings as well. Ryan comes in, buys a little time, let Smoke catch his breath. Oh, 2 to the Athletics catcher. Whoa, way upstairs. All with 2 strikes. Been 14 starts since Vargas pitched into the 8th inning. Might this be the night he gets to the 8th? Ryan. Well done, Bob. And pulled Smoke off the bag. A base hit. Saw Ryan make a couple of those plays last year with the Cardinals when we were in St. Louis.
Nice play. Slide so he can pop up right away, gets rid of it quickly. Actually gets a lot on this throw, but it's just a little bit wide. Smoke has to come off the bag to make the play.
He's done that before. A little wide on the throw. Mark Ellis. He extended his hitting streak to 15 games with a base hit back in the 2nd. He's 1 for 2. Jamie Wright, who was untouchable in the spring, he's up and throwing for the Mariners. There's a couple of double plays last night. They could use one here. Vargas, as we told you, his expression does not change. Down 1-0, up 2-1. Saunders giving ground. He's there for the catch. One out here in the A's 7th. Kevin Kuzminoff is 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 3 last night. Kuzminoff is fly to left and tap back to the pitcher Vargas.
a nice job of that today, throwing first pitch strikes, getting ahead of hitters.
19 of 26. That'll work. Off-speed pitch fouled off. Purpose pitch 1 and 2. Last time Vargas pitched his way to victory, you have to go back to August 14th last season at Cleveland. He went 7 innings in a 9-5 and a 9-3 win. Strike 3 called as Kuzminoff is dismissed. Strikeout number 6 for Jason Vargas.
Looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter for Pennington. Take a look at this last pitch. Change up. He thought it was down, but he ends up getting the call.
4 of the 6 strikeouts have been looking.
Like it'll be Connor Jackson pinch hitting for Pennington.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Athletics. Batting for Pennington, number 28, Connor Jackson.
This guy was a bright light in the Arizona ball club for a few years and moved around. Eric Wedge is going to counter. And Vargas is going to leave with a 2-1 lead. Going to turn it over to Jamie Wright. We're in the 7th inning. 2 outs. A runner aboard. Vargas, heck of a job here tonight in Oakland. So Jason Vargas getting kudos from Felix Hernandez and his Felix with his mohawk look, his fee-hawk.
Those are the numbers Dave was talking about. Spring training, 12 innings pitched, no runs, just 4 hits, 1 walk.
Sending him after Connor Jackson, and he starts him off with a strike. So Chris Ray in position now to it's the 8th inning. Jamie Wright's been around for a long time. Connor Jackson's 2 for 5 against him. That misses. Fly ball center field. No problem for Saunders. Jamie Wright gets the job done.
Nice job by Jason Vargas.
2-3-4 here in the 8th inning for the Mariners against Grant Balfour, who continues, and Figgins bounces one to Bart for a quick out. Balfour came on to get the last 2 outs of the 7th inning, replacing Craig Breslow, who took over for the starter Brett Anderson. Here's Milton Bradley, got his first base hit of the season last time up in the 6th, stole a base and scored the lead run. Make that the tying run, beg your pardon. New shortstop Andy LaRoche. Brother of Adam, son of Dave. Major leaguers.
Ryan Fuentes in the A's bullpen.
Still brings that frisbee, huh? 1-1 to Milton Bradley. That's a base hit for Milton. Starting to dial it in. Picking up where he left off. And a good spring. One out base runner.
This pitch gets in on his hands a little bit, but Milton's strong enough. Fight it off and dump it into right field. Well, he has 2 base hits on the night.
Jack Cuss tied it in the 6th. Got a 3-0 green light, single to center. Bradley scored from second base after stealing that bag. Strike 1.
Chris Ray continues to throw in the Mariners' pen, so we'll see him in the 8th inning.
0-2 now to Jack. Chris with Texas and San Francisco last year. One and 2 to Cust. Cust a career 0 for 4 against Grant Balfour. Play Cust straight away and deep. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch here. Off the plate, full count.
I think we're going to hear that a lot with Jack Cuss at the plate. Huh? Full count. Justin Smoke waiting on deck.
Remember, Earl Weaver used to call Don Stanhouse full pack because it would make Earl crazy and smoke a pack of cigarettes. Up the middle, had him played perfectly. Can't get the double play. Now he got third cover. That was almost a situation like Johnny Damon took advantage of against the Phillies in the World Series a couple of years ago when nobody was covering third, and Kuzminoff alertly ran towards third base before Milton could get a chance to get over there.
Take a look at it. This will actually be a 6-3. That's the shortstop, LaRoche, on the other side. The third baseman, Kuzminoff, wasn't going to get to second in time, so he just gets the out. But Kuzminoff tried to get to second, and watch Milton. Nobody at third. Kuzminoff actually passed him, and nobody at third by the time Milton realized it. Yeah, after the fact. But he's in scoring position now. They'll put Smoke on.
Very similar play. Phillies and the Yankees a couple of years ago in the World Series. Remember that, Johnny
Yes.
Damon? Gonna put it in the hands of Brendan Ryan. Going to have runners at first and second. 2 outs.
And Brendan's 1 for 3. He has a double and scored a run in the game.
I sure hope Ryan can regain that form from 2 years ago when he hit .293 with the Cardinals.
Here comes Bob Guerin. Maybe go over the scouting report for Brendan Ryan.
You bet, because Balfour's never faced Ryan. Ryan coming over from the National League. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 2 outs. Opportunity for some more tallies here by the Mariners with Bradley at second, Smoke at first. Ryan hit a hot smash double down the left field line into the corner. Scored a run in the 7th. Gave the Mariners the 2-1 lead. Straightaway center, not deep. Coco Crisp records the final out. Always some great scenics here in the San Francisco Bay Area as we look at the Bay Bridge. And right now, making his Mariner debut, Chris Ray. Ray in a unique position last year. He pitched for both World Series participants last year, Texas and San Francisco. That's a great bunt by Chris. Chris, 32 out of 35 stolen bases a year ago. He's aboard. He represents a tying run.
There's nothing that Justin Smoke can do it. If Chris Ray can't get there in time, you're not going to be able to catch the fleet-footed Coco Crisp. Nice try. You can see he's clearly by him. Creates all kinds of problems having him on first base. He can steal it. Barton can handle the bat.
Right now, Chris Ray, your 8th inning situational reliever for the Mariners. As you know, he's got plenty of closing experience. 06 and 07 combined for 49 saves with the Orioles. Missed all of 08, right elbow surgery. Line drive, broken back, base hit. Lead runs aboard.
Well, Chris Ray makes kindling out of Barton's bat, but unfortunately this soft line drive finds some outfield grass, so the A's have some action. And we'll see how Bob Guerin wants to play this. De Jesus, their number 3 hitter. He's also been a leadoff hitter as Brandon Lee comes out of the bullpen. He'll start to warm up, but he can do a lot of different things also. That'll bring out Carl Willis to buy league sometime. Pitching coach for the Mariners.
Ray has faced De Jesus in the past. David's 0 for 3 against Chris Ray. So hot water already for Chris Ray in his Mariner debut. A bunt and a base hit. Both bullpens are active. We saw Brandon Lee warming up for the Mariners. Brian Fuentes back in action for the A's. De Jesus 0 for 3 tonight. Drove in the Athletics run with an RBI ground out in the 3rd.
Sean Pickens up at third base, ready for the bunt. Smoke the same at first. Brendan Ryan, the shortstop, trying to keep Chris close to second.
Here we go. Ball 1. Tracer's got it in the zone. Prior to these 2 base hits here in the 8th, the A's had just had a single and a walk in the previous 4 innings. And now 2-0.
Well, that takes the bunt out of the equation. Mike Gallego, third base coach for the A's, putting the signs on. Adam Moore going to go out to the mound and talk to Chris Ray. Typically when they call the shortstop in, they're going to switch the signs up. Maybe Adam felt like Coco Chris getting a good look in there, picking up some signs, so they'll switch them up.
So League, who is the starter, the closer here for the Mariners, with David Ardsma on the shelf for at least another month.
And Eric Wedge said he wasn't afraid to pitch him 2 innings if he needed to, so that's why he's up here in the 8th.
Jack Wilson there, can't get the double up. And now Barton's off the bag. They're going to get him. And Barton clearly got fooled. Here comes Bob Guerin.
I thought I clearly saw the second base umpire put his hands out like it wasn't a catch. This will be interesting to see. I think Bob Guerin is arguing that the ball was caught in the air, so the runner should stay. We'll let him sort it out and see what happens here. It was hard to tell from here whether Jack actually caught the ball in the air or trapped it.
Rob Drake, the second base umpire.
There's a line drive out to second. Watch the umpire. He says no catch. Crisp is fine right there.
So no catch.
Well, if it's a no catch, then the runner at first should be out at second base, correct?
And that's what happened.
And here's the relay, and the runner's safe there, so they have the runners where they're at if it's a no catch.
Right.
So everything is right the way it is. Barton was already out at second base. I was looking at the umpire right there. I couldn't tell. Could you tell if Jack caught it cleanly or if it hit the dirt? Because I was watching the umpire to see what his call. But he clearly called a no catch right away.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I was watching Drake. So Barton.
Let's take a look, see if Jack catches it in the air or not.
That's close, but he's got, look,
but he
he's
called
right
it right
there.
away. He's right on top of it. He makes
right
a call
there.
right away.
So then Barton, now I got an entire umpiring crew out there. Dreckman, Emmel, Drake, and Darling.
We'll sort it out here. We'll find out in a second.
Yeah, had first and second.
Clearly, De Jesus was by the bag also. When they when Ryan threw the ball to first base, it looked like De Jesus was clearly by the bag, and it looks like that's the way they're going to keep it.
Barton was he was in no man's land. So 1 out.
You know what was good about that? And we can't tell. We couldn't tell on the replay even if he caught it in the air or not. But the umpire made a call right away, which is for the base runners the key. That's why Coco Crisp went back into second base as soon as he saw the no catch sign.
But it's interesting because it was no catch. He was eligible to take off. Right, no catch. I mean, and he probably should have been on the move, right? That's what. And then Barton wound up getting hung up.
Or maybe it was. Maybe you're right. Maybe he didn't see the umpire and he wasn't sure, and maybe he thought it was a catch, and that's why he went diving. A good point.
All right, so they're giving the rule. Let's see, fielder's choice. That'll get.
Because clearly Barton didn't see the umpire because he didn't go anywhere until well after the fact.
Sure. This is Willingham with 1 out. Runners go. They take off. No throw to third.
Well, I can tell you this, Dave. The greatest base stealer in this game used to play for the Oakland Athletics, and Ricky Henderson, and he used to talk about that all the time. An element of surprise. Something happens on the field, he'd like to go on the next pitch, and that's exactly what Coco Crisp did. Everybody's trying to sort all this stuff out. He takes off right away.
So runners at the corners, tying run at third, lead run at first, 1 out. Mariners sorely need a double play. 1-0 to Willingham. 0 for 3. He struck out his last 2 appearances. Base hit, right field ties the game. De Jesus will hold it second. He bounced it through the vacancy. Brand new game again at 2-2. Second A's RBI for Willingham. Make that the third. He had a 2-run homer last night.
Looks like he gets a breaking ball, doesn't do much, and just punches it through the hole on the right side.
So now you bring on Matsui. Runners at first and second. A run in, 1 out. Big hack by Matsui, who's 0 for 3 tonight.
First pitch fastball.
Matsui knows he's.
I think he had the driver out that time, Dave.
Yep. Matsui 1 for 3 against Chris Ray, and yeah, it was a long ball. One and one. Infield hit by Chris. Barton with a base hit. A funky play where they thought they might have had a chance to get a double up. Fielder's choice. Barton's retired. There's Ryan, short hop. Throw out Matsui for the second out. Runners move up. Our Home Depot doing more on defense.
The key to it is Brendan Ryan aggressive right away. As soon as he sees a hit, he comes and gets it. It's a nice play. It's a tough hop. Nice play.
Well, now Kurt Suzuki got an infield hit his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Strike one to Kurt. 6th hitter in the inning for the A's. Looking ahead to the Mariners' 9th. 7, 8, 9. Wilson, Saunders, and Moore. Little dribbler to Figgins. Takes care of it. To the 9th we go, tied at 2-2. Rocky Mariner debut for Chris Ray. As the A's will bring in Brian Fuentes. Teams deadlocked as we begin the 9th inning. Very memorable opening night. It's set for this Friday. The Mariners host the Indians. First 20,000 fans receive a Mariners green rally towel, courtesy of Pepsi Max. Pre-game festivities start at 6:30. They include red carpet player intros, fireworks, and of course the tribute to Dave Niehaus. Tickets still available for opening night. Get them at mariners.com. You get to wear your white shoes to make that tribute complete. But Brian Fuentes faces 7, 8, 9 here in the Mariner order. Zach Wilson will lead it off. Jack 2 for 5 career against Fuentes. Here's what he did last year.
47 strikeouts in the 48 innings that he pitched, but 20 walks. That's a lot of walks.
Fuentes, mid part of last year, went from the Angels to the Twins as the Twins made a run to the Central Division Championship. Bob straight back. Jack Wilson tonight. 1 for 3. Got a base hit in the 7th inning. Fuentes went over to Minnesota, late August trade. Became a setup man there for the Twins. Certainly has got a unique delivery.
Actually started off being a left-handed specialist out of the pen. The Rockies, I believe. A little bit with the Mariners and went over to the Rockies to do that, and then they made him a closer.
Nice run. 30 saves for the Rockies in 08. 48 for the Angels in 09. 23 last year. Two and two to Jack Wilson. Saunders to follow, then Moore. How difficult is it to pick up the ball at the release point?
I would think for the right-handed hitters, you would be able to pick it up early. The lefties would be real tough, but I think for the righties, they should be able to see the ball out of his hand early. Saunders next, left-handed hitter.
Jack finds a hole, base hit. 2 for 4 night for Jack. Consecutive base hits.
Gets out in front of this fastball and hits it through the hole. I think you have two options: bunt him over or hit and run. Do something to get the game moving, right?
Absolutely.
Kuzminoff up on the grass at third, expecting a bunt.
Saunders showed bunt and throw over.
In the situation, you'd like to see him bunt it towards the first baseman, because Kuzminoff, the third baseman, he'll break early and get right on top of him. Barton will have to wait at first because of the runner.
Ball 1 to Saunders.
Miguel Olivo. Probably pinch hit for Adam Moore, who's on deck.
Tough one for Jason Vargas, pitching well of a ball game. Saunders gets the job done.
Nicely done.
Sacrifice 3-4. Saunders had a sacrifice fly his last time up. Gave the Mariners a lead that was short-lived.
And it will be Olivo.
The league will get back up and heat up for the bottom of the ninth. So here comes Miguel Olivo. Started last night's contest. Picked up a couple of hits, scored a run, knocked in a run. 2 for 5. Run scored an RBI last night for Miguel. See the numbers there for Mr. Olivo in a pinch hitting role. Going up there, being aggressive. Strike 1.
Pulled the string on him. A lot of times when you pinch hit, what you're taught is to be aggressive. First couple of pitches, try to get a swing off. You might get a good fastball to hit.
Oh, 1. I don't imagine Fuentes with that delivery has a good pickoff move, as we saw with Ziegler last night, Submariner. String again. Curtis Wilson, our producer, telling me that back in his days with Colorado, just the opposite, that Fuentes had a great move to second base. Olivo trying to pick up this run. He's behind 0-2. To center field. Chris will not be able to get it. Jack Wilson's going to be held. Wanted to make sure it didn't get caught. So Olivo comes through with a base hit.
Well, Jack started to run when he hit it, but the ball stayed in the air for a while, and we know that Chris covers a lot of ground. That's a mistake you don't want to make. Take a look at it. Line drive out towards center, and here comes Coco Crisp.
Now batting, number 51.
Watch Jack.
Ichiro,
Takes off, and then he's up. Remembers who's out there. By then, it's too late. But you have Ichiro coming up to the plate, just one out.
Ichiro tied now with Edgar Martinez, career hit leader, Mariner franchise, 22-47. He could make this a real big one here if he can get a base knock and give the Mariners a lead. 2 runs on 10 hits for the Mariners. 2 runs, 8 hits for the A's.
I'd say a decent fly ball should get Jack Wilson, and Jack runs well. So he doesn't have to hit it real deep to score.
Field in close. It looked like Suzuki. Boy, he get crossed up, and he made a heck of a play there. Josh Lukey, obtained from Texas. Brandon Lee at the ready. Lukey will probably get the call if it's still tied, and Lee will come in if the Mariners get the lead. Jack Wilson got it started with a base hit to left. Big spot for Ichiro. 1 and 2. Lead run at third. Infield in close. Tight action here with lead run 90 feet away. The 2-2 to Ichiro. Put it in play. They come home, throws it away. Wilson scores. Digging for third. Olivo, he is safe. So the Mariners take advantage of yet another athletics miscue. And the Mariners have the lead at 3-2.
Will be an RBI for Ichiro. Run scored. Martineau's game's tied. We're in the 9th inning. He just tries to make a play at the plate. He has to range over. Take a look at range over to his right, and he throws back across his body. Not an easy play, but he had no choice. He had to try to make the play at the plate. See Jack take off right away. Nice jump at third. Heads up play by Olivo, who gets into third base. Missed a lot of time in spring training. A groin pull for Olivo, so he must be feeling much better because he was running well on the play.
And here's a wild pitch. Coming in is Olivo, and the Mariners have a 4-2 lead. Base hit E3. So Ichiro with a base hit. He's now the franchise leader and an RBI. And now Ichiro in scoring position after that wild pitch.
And the A's continue to help the Mariners out.
How about that? Was it 5 errors last night?
Yeah. Right after a wild throw to home, pitcher throws one to the backstop.
And he's all over the place. So Ichiro puts it in play right here, and this is the record breaker. 2,248 base hits. He picks up an RBI, his second hit tonight. And he is the Mariner franchise leader in base hits.
It's clearly a base hit because there was nobody at first.
Ichiro takes off for third. Throw down, not in time. So Ichiro with a stolen base. Last night he enjoyed a fine evening on the base paths with 2 stolen bases, so In game 2, he's got 3 bags. Brad Ziegler's up and throwing.
Eric Wedge stays aggressive. He's letting these guys run. Last night we saw him go on a contact play that worked. He does it again tonight with Jack Wilson at third. Another contact play. Staying aggressive.
Figgins wants to get a piece of this and get it through the infield for another run here. Lukey is sat down, and the bullpen belongs to Brandon League now.
Well, with the speed of both these guys, with Figgins and Ichiro, I imagine it'll be another contact play. If he puts it in play, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ichiro take off. Now wait for it to get out.
Pop up over the dugout. That'll play. What an inning. And the Mariners, not exactly Harvey's wall bangers. So you go the other way, whatever you got to do, and then you capitalize on mistakes.
Well, I think so far both teams talking about their pitching and defense being their strengths, but the Mariners defense has held up much better than the A's here in the first 2 games.
Figgins drives one to the gap. Ichiro will score easily on this one as Chris makes the catch. RBI for Figgins on the sacrifice fly. It's a 5-2 Mariner lead.
It's a big run.
Yes, it is. So sacrifice fly there. You had a sacrifice bunt by Saunders in this inning. A wild pitch. The Mariners now have a 3-run cushion. That is a quick turn of events. Infield hit gets a run. Wild pitch gets a run, and a sacrifice fly. That's why the phrase, boys, you never know, is so applicable to the great game of baseball. One to Milton. Down low.
Fuentes so far 26 pitches in the inning. 11 balls, 15 strikes.
Chris Ray's taken off the hook. Chris came in and gave up a run on 3 hits. Tied the game in the bottom of the 8th. Ooh, that ate up Suzuki. Thank goodness for quality mask. Suzuki's ready to go. Full count to Milton Bradley. 2 outs, nobody on. 3 runs in. Fly ball to left. Willingham. He's there. And that'll do it for the Mariners. Damage aplenty. All good stuff for the good guys. 5-2 Mariners as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Brandon League will face the bottom third of the A's order here in the 9th. Ellis, Kuzminoff, and LaRoche. Chris Ray taking off the hook. He pitched 1 inning, 3 hits and a run, and now League.
Brandon's numbers from last year: 3.42 ERA. Opponent's average against just 2.29.
Save opportunity for League. It was the Mariner closer until David Ardsma gets back. Shaky start of spring training for League, but a good finish. Saying just a matter of him getting the feel back and working his way through to get back to where he wants to be.
Well, it's a good situation for him. It's a safe situation, but it is a 3-run lead for his first outing of the year.
Back to 2-2. Sean Figgins down at third. Smoke his Mariners trying to go 2-0 here in the 2011 season. Mariners over the last 4 innings offensively, 5 runs on 8 hits after no runs and 3 hits in the first 5 innings. To left field. Saunders on his horse. He's there, 1 out. Wednesday, April 13th, Mariners and Blue Jays close out the first homestand of the season. First 20,000 fans receive a calendar. It features Ichiro, Felix Goody, and some of your other favorite Mariners. Thanks to Verizon Wireless. Get your tickets at mariners.com. 1 out. Here's Kevin Kuzminoff. Ellis with that fly ball. 1 for 4. Kuzminoff, he's 0 for 3. League with a good fastball. Splitter can be devastating. Got a good sinker.
It's a good split, 85 miles an hour. Kuzminoff right over the top.
Kuzminoff a career 0 for 3 against League. League's got him 0-2. Dribbler to Jack Wilson. 2 outs.
And we'll get a pinch hitter. Sweeney will hit for LaRoche. Came in the game late.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Athletics. Batting for Andy LaRoche. Number 58,
Ryan Sweeney has been pretty much regulated. Been put on the bench with the acquisition of David DeJesus. Came in last night. 2 outs. Mariners trying to go 2-0.
Exactly what Eric Wedge wanted to see from Brandon League. Throwing strikes, 9 pitches, 7 of them for strikes.
Quick 0-2. Five runs on 11 hits, no errors for the Mariners. 2 runs, 8 hits, and an error for Oakland. Strike away from victory. The 0-2. This is outside. Miguel Olivo doing the catching right now. A big base hit, a pinch hit in the 9th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a tough pitch. League is the 4th Mariner pitcher this evening. Vargas a strong 6 2/3 right. Quick 1/3 of an inning. Chris Ray got into some trouble, but the offense has bailed him out. 1-2 with 2 outs. The Sweeney pounded down to Figgins. This will do it. Throws across the smoke, and the Mariners are 2-0 in 2011. Brandon League gets his first save. Mariners win it 5-2. They come up with 3 big runs on 3 big hits in the 9th inning to get it done.
And the formula for the Mariners, really good starting pitching. We've seen that for 2 nights. Got a chance to see the bullpen. They did their job. Great defense by the Mariners 2 days in a row. Just kind of hanging around, waiting for the Athletics to hurt themselves. And the Mariners certainly took advantage of it again tonight.
2 hours and 58 minutes for this ball game here in Oakland. And Ichiro, he wound up turning in a solid performance tonight as he becomes the franchise's all-time hit leader. Got an in. And here is Ichiro's first at bat. It was first pitch swinging. And then this is the one that tied Edgar Martinez in the 3rd inning at 22:47. Later grounds out. That's in the 6th. In the 7th inning, he'll fly out to center. And then with the runner at third in the 9th inning, he puts the ball in play. It's a base hit and an RBI. Jack Wilson scores, and he's had a heck of a night.
He's had a real good couple of days, actually. 2 hits yesterday, a couple more hits tonight. Breaks the Mariners all-time record. So congratulations to him, and Mariners now 2-0 to start the season.